Hi everyone, welcome to MGS Coaching Football, and thanks for watching my channel because, as always, I do really appreciate it. Today, in this video, I'm going to share with you another one of our Rain Blitz concepts that we simply call Rain. It's a sim pressure. It's best, obviously, to use in a pass situation, but you can use it versus the run. I'll share that with you when I get to the diagram portion of things. So what I'm going to do first is let me just adjust that a little bit. Sorry about this. There we go. I'm going to go through the key aspects that helps explain what our Rain Blitz read concept's all about. And then over here up top, I'm going to show you different things that can happen that make it either a 3, 4, or 5-man pressure. And then down here, I'm going to give you some more scenarios as well, okay? And it will involve the running back, all right? So this is what we call up rain, all right? This is sim pressure, remember. Okay, it's what we call a Rain Blitz concept as well. So this is a rare case of where the name of the blitz is the same as the name of the concept. It's out of our 5-front system again, which is our base 3 down, right? Which forms the basis of our 3-4 defensive package. And then I'm going to go through these key terms as I stated. So the first key term is, what is the Rain Blitz concept? Well, as I already mentioned, it's either a 3, 4, or 5-man pressure, depending upon what the guards do. Okay? So again, this is a sim pressure. As you see, we cover down all the offensive linemen. Our inside linebackers walk up. So that means we either get straight man or we get a full slide, typically, but not always. Okay. Both inside linebackers read the guard's set. Now, that also includes run, right? They're either to you or away, typically, whether it's a zone, whether it's a gap scheme, whether they're pulling. Okay. So the guard set. If the guard is square, they're going to rush B gap. If the guard's butt is to or facing the inside linebacker, so in other words, they're moving away from that inside linebacker, they rush B gap. Okay? Only when the guard faces, he's coming at the inside linebacker, does he drop and spy the quarterback. Okay, so it's what we like to refer to as the unless theory. You're going to rush B gap unless the guard's trying to block you. Right? Boom, done. Okay, right? 2 of the 3 scenarios, you rush the B gap. One scenario, he's trying to block you, you drop and spy the Q. All right? The unless theory. All right, so inside linebackers rush B gap unless, right? And the unless is the guard's trying to block him. Okay? And a lot of what we try and do defensively is centered around that unless theory. Simplify it for your players, right? You want them to play fast mentally so they can play fast physically. You got to do that, right? If there are 3 different things that the linebacker has to react to and have 3 different reactions, they're not going to be able to do it. So their mindset is, I'm rushing B gap unless he tries to block me. I mean, it just simplifies this process so they can do it physically. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So then now, where does that leave the rest of the front, right? The defensive ends, they're both going to speed rush and have outside cage. So we say react to the run on the way to the quarterback, right? Rush the passer, react to run. That's really what's going on. The nose guard, right? Not to be Captain Obvious, but he's going to rush A gap. But the A gap that he's going to rush is going to be determined ahead of time by game plan and, if need be, by game adjustment if we see something different. Again, so they can play fast. Everybody, not just the two inside linebackers, B and M, but E, N, and S, they too can play fast. Okay? So then now, number 2 involves what kind of coverage do you use? Well, this is one of our man coverage versions, okay? We call it monsoon. It's a man. And this version of man has the safeties spin to the running back, and it ends up being a one high middle closed. I'll show that to you down here, okay? So right now I'm going to make it known to you, right? Coverage diagram. That's going to involve the running back, okay? I mean, coverage is coverage. I'll go over that down here with you. I'm not going to do the coverage up here, right? Coverage diagram up here. All right. And so, no, so I don't have the safeties up here. Not yet. All right. So that's going to be the coverage because both inside linebackers potentially could be part of the blitz. And so then number 3, when do you use this? We use it versus protections. Typically, again, this is best versus pass. React to the run. Versus a slide protection, which is what you're going to get. Or when the guards, it's a type of protection, even in a man scheme, where they want to help the center. Because remember, especially in the shotgun, the center's got to, in many cases, not all but many, he's got to identify, he's got to call out the protection, he's got to snap the football, and then become a part of the protection. So usually they need a little help. Okay, especially if you can get a favorable matchup one-on-one, your nose versus the center. Okay? So now we're prepared to start the diagram, right? We're going to start with the blitz itself. Okay, the blitz diagram. So up here, the safeties. Okay? For right now, that's all I'm going to do for you. But the two safeties, they are reading their running back. They can see through the surface, the offensive line on the way to the back, so they'll know run or pass. All right? And it's a simple thing to drill. So they're going to take care of the running back in case both inside linebackers have the opportunity to rush B gap. All right? So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to show you what the defensive ends do. For rush, speed rushes, they're going to get 3 steps up the field and then bend to the inside. If they can't beat an offensive tackle 3 steps up the field, then we need a new defensive end. Okay? So if you call this in a pass situation, you might have a different defensive end on the field anyway, right? Your pass rush specialist, your jet packet, whatever you call it. But that's how we teach it. Get it 3 steps upfield. Now you got to start bending into the quarterback, right? Keeping them to your inside because you got outside cage, right? Outside cage. But that's speed rush. Okay, for the purposes of this video, the nose game plan equals left A gap. Okay, so snap of the football. He's puncturing. He's getting vertical, stabbing. Usually we use the term stab in a pass situation. He is stabbing the left A gap. He's got to get up the field. Okay, so now let's talk about guard reads. Okay, let's say we get most of the time tackles big on big. You know, if this is the man side, they're sliding this way, it's big on big. If this is the man side, they slide, it's always big on big with the tackles. That's what we get most of the time, unless it's full slide, right? So now let's talk about this. Center pass sets. Let's just say that this guard stays square and he gives his inside hand to help with the nose. Well, square means rush the B gap. Ah. Okay? So let's say that their plan is to double here. So this is man. Let's say over here we're getting a straight man look. So he now faces the mic. He's going to step as he's reading, and then he's going to pop back because he's going to drop and spy the quarterback. See? Oh. Now, if you've got a situation where you've got a world beater as a nose, right? We've had situations where they both guards stay square, right? This guard helping here, this guard helping here as they're quote unquote reading to see whether or not the linebacker's coming. You'll probably know if they have a 1 foot split. That's a good indicator that both guards are going to help the center, and then, right? So when you get that, you now have a 5-man pressure because both square, they're both rushing B gap. Because as they're helping, they're in no position to stop a guy who's right on top of them from barreling up the field. They can't do this and then be able to turn and block. It's impossible. Okay? So that gives you the 5-man. If it were a full slide, he's butts to him. He'd rush. He's facing him. He'd draw, right? The one scenario that you're going to get 3 is if both guards turn and face the linebackers and they think they have the advantage with their center and they're going to trust the center on an island to block your nose one-on-one. And if that's the case, then don't run the splits. You know what I mean? So down here, so I'll give you a different scenario. Now this focus here is on the coverage. So they're here. Same deal there, right? Let's assume you get that help. So he rushes B. So now you got the 4-man, right? Well, first of all, right, corners have 1. Outside linebackers have 2. Right? Standard, man. And because both inside linebackers are potentially blitzing, we let our safeties, right? We talked about it up here. So let me just say this. Whether it's going straight into the release, because if it's a check release, he's going to be staying in protection, right? If he releases, the defensive end does not peel. The defensive end is going to continue at the quarterback, put pressure on the quarterback, make him get rid of the football quick because the ball is being thrown deep in the backfield. When you get that type of action, right, safety spin, when that happens, that pulls him to the middle third, right? There's that 1 high. He comes here. He now has to screw down. He has to take that running back. He's got to negotiate whatever's going on in front of him. He's got to get in a position to cover and tackle the running back. He's not going to intercept the ball, especially if we force that quarterback to get and go, whoa! Right, as a safety valve, get rid of it. Now you're working your shimmy tackle coming down. Good solid base, under control, tackle him. You got a TFL. Don't need any hero 1,000 miles per hour attempts at a hit. You're likely to miss, and now the back's gone, right? We don't want that. So that's how it works. Okay, that's the coverage diagram for you. If the back were to go the other way, the safeties would spin. Again, check release in this situation, the likelihood is the back stays in. And so when the back stays in, both safeties, okay, still spin. So in other words, Last scenario, right? The back stays up in protection. Now, again, can't necessarily know what the guards are doing. They're square, their butt to, their face, right? Whatever it might be. The safeties will still spin. Now the down safety is looking for the check release or halfback screen. Because once you go through a few games, you get tendencies when you're up. This is one of the things that you do on offense. Checks, or at least I would assume they check to a halfback screen and try and make you pay for it. So our safeties still spin even when the running back, at least initially, starts in protection. The safety is looking for that check release or halfback screen. Okay? So as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching my channel. I do really appreciate it. If I went a little too fast, I apologize, but you can always reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.